My friends and I were surrounded by a tribe of natives. Oh no, someone began to whisper spells in an unknown language. Panic seized me. No, I don't want to die. Not like this. I was friends with Lily, Jenny, and Dolly since high school. It seemed that we were completely different. But we were united by one thing. We all believed in higher powers. We were sure that various mystical stories were not just fairy tales. So we spent all our free time on occult rituals. We called ghosts, read the cards, and even communicated with psychics. How I wanted to see something mystical for once with my own eyes. And then one day, we were offered a tour of the Enchanted Island. Of course, we immediately agreed. A week later, we were enthusiastically exploring the surroundings of our hotel. Instead of rooms, there were bungalows. All the employees wore strange traditional clothes, but the coolest thing was the mysterious pound surrounding the hotel on all sides. It just charmed us. We spent all the time on the shore drinking cocktails, dancing, and just did not get out of the water. Our tour was coming to an end. My friends and I had a wonderful rest, but I was sad. After all, we never saw anything mystical. Except for the fake costumes of the staff. The girls agreed with me. The hotel was not worth the money. There was nothing mysterious here. Therefore, on the last night, we decided to have a good time in order to somehow compensate for our disappointment. We drank several cocktails at once, got into the water, and swam for so long that it was already late at night. Once we even had to hide from the guard. When we heard his footsteps, we all dived under the water and held our breath. He did not notice us. He could spoil our party. I think it was about 2 o'clock in the morning when suddenly, the water in the pond lit up. I looked at the girls. They were just as confused. The water in the pond sparkled as if we were in the very center of a huge light bulb. Lily timidly suggested that it had to be some kind of illumination. But no, it was more like magic. Obviously, the spirits were trying to tell us something. Finally, we didn't come here for nothing. After a few minutes, the glow disappeared, and only then we went home, constantly discussing what we saw. Did we finally witness something mystical ourselves? What would that mean? Not believing our luck, I reached the bungalow and immediately fell into a deep sleep. In the morning, I woke up to the cry of one of my friends. What was it? Dolly was crying, holding something in her hands. There were the other girls and I rushed to her, but Dolly just silently handed us a pregnancy test. I looked closer and gasped. 2 bars. Dolly, when did you manage to get pregnant? You're constantly participating in some occult rituals with us. You just don't have time. Dolly just glared at me and whispered that she hadn't had a boyfriend for more than a year. It was simply impossible. But nevertheless, she was pregnant. It turned out that Dolly woke up early and saw 4 pregnancy tests on the bathroom shelf. We heard that they do this in some hotels. She decided to check one for fun, and it showed 2 bars. We looked at each other warily. It can't be. Dolly nodded at her stomach and said that she immediately noticed how it grew after swimming in the pond. It was definitely because of that stupid glow. My hair stood on end. The other girls and I immediately rushed to the rest of the tests. What if I was also pregnant? God, no. This was nonsense. But I was already feeling sick. Not this. 10 minutes later, there was a deathly silence in the room. My friends and I didn't know what to do. It seemed like it was some kind of prank. But it was real. All 4 tests showed 2 bars. Still vaguely understanding what was happening, we decided to get out to a local cafe. It was unbearable to sit in silence any longer. Somehow getting there, we settled down at a table. But the girls behaved very strangely. It would all be funny if it wasn't true. Dolly was crying endlessly. Lily was frantically trying to find something on the internet, but other users only ridiculed the query, is it possible to get pregnant from swimming in the pond? Jenny took a long time to order something from the waiter. But when her order arrived, I grimaced. She was dipping kiwi in ketchup. Who eats this? It's much tastier with mayonnaise, crossed my mind. I didn't even notice how I began to stroke my stomach myself. What the hell was I doing? No, we needed to solve something urgently. The waiter came up to us. He was wearing traditional clothes, just like a local. And then it dawned on me, he knew exactly all the legends and secrets of the island. I immediately asked him what he had heard about that pond, and then the waiter told us a mysterious legend. It turned out that the pond was dug in a secret place where at a certain time and under certain circumstances, you could get pregnant. It wasn't this way that the ancient tribe continued the family line. The tribe itself had long been gone. Only their distant relatives still lived somewhere in the jungle. Finally, at least some kind of clue. Half an hour later, we were already pushing through the impenetrable jungle. I knew that this was not an occupation for everyone, but I did not expect that everything would be so difficult. We were constantly attacked by a swarm of strange huge insects. Their bites made our bodies swell and itch. The unbearable heat made me dizzy. The sweat flowed down in streams. Besides, Lily almost stepped on a poisonous snake. Sometimes I thought we were going to die in this damn jungle. Therefore, I was terribly glad when I saw a settlement among the trees and vines. We would fix it soon. The inhabitants at the settlement looked at us with apprehension, but we immediately asked how to get to their leader. One of the natives kindly led us to the largest house in the village, but the leader refused to accept us. Had we come all this way for nothing? But then it dawned on Lily. She took off her favorite gold bracelet from her hand and hesitantly handed it to the leader. He looked at the bracelet with an arrogant look. But the chief took the bracelet and motioned us to the hut. Hooray! Well done, Lily! The first thing I did was ask him about the pond. Could we really get pregnant from it? The leader nodded warily, but said that they didn't use this method for a long time. Women who got pregnant in the pond gave birth to demon children. He narrowed his eyes and asked why we were interested in this. I swallowed. Demon children? They would kill us right now if they found out. Lily and I looked at each other. I think she was thinking the same thing. It was time to get out of there. But then Dolly, the most emotional of us, sobbed out that we were all pregnant. She was gasping for breath, asking the leader, "What should we do now?" I was stunned. Dolly, damn it. Why did you say that? Now we were in trouble. The leader looked at Dolly for a long time and then suddenly took a couple of steps in our direction. There was something sinister in his gaze. I swallowed nervously. He sarcastically said that there was only one solution. In order not to let evil into the world, this evil had to be destroyed. We needed to run away urgently, but we did not have time to move, as the inhabitants of the tribe surrounded us and grabbed our hands, not allowing us to escape. What the hell was going on here? The natives were whispering incomprehensible spells. Their strong hands did not loosen their grip for a second. I could not believe that all this was happening in reality. Then the leader spoke again. He was sure that the god of their tribe would definitely appreciate such a sacrifice. I couldn't see anything anymore because of the tears. Was this the end? And suddenly the people of the tribe laughed out loud. They let us go and smiled. This was a prank. Gotcha? Wait, what? I had no time to recover from the shock yet. The leader said with a smile that no one had ever been pregnant in that pond. We just turned out to be very impressionable. It turned out that the hotel staff heard how much the girls and I discussed occult rituals and decided to prank us. Of course, the pregnancy tests were fake, as was the legend. And the pond glowed only because of the backlight. I couldn't believe that we have been so played. Lily smiled awkwardly and Jenny shouted that they shouldn't joke like that. But I felt relieved. I realized that you can't believe everything. Any information needs to be checked. Otherwise, you get into such scrapes. It seems that instead of occult practices, it's time for me to improve my knowledge. For example, in physics or biology. At parting, one of the hotel employees said that they had another offer for us. An overnight stay at the top of the enchanted mountain of broken hearts. No, thank you. I winked at my friends. Now you can't fool us so easily. Did you like the video? Subscribe and like it. Support the channel. Thank you.